Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This reading today is about what you need to know right now. So, for pile number 1, we have Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Your card is the Page of Bows with Stoat, or the Page of Wands. For pile number 2, we have Sagittarius, Taurus, Cancer, and Leo. Your card is the Six of Wands. For pile number 3, we have Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces. Your card is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the tarot deck, the card, the zodiac sign, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is the Stoat, Page of Bows, or Page of Wands, and okay. And this card is connected to midsummer, right after midsummer, which is interesting. So maybe this has something to do with the current season, or if you're watching this later, because this is a timeless reading, with the current season and the moments right after that change, the change of the season. Midsummer is not a season, of course, but I am talking in terms of like periods in the year. If you don't consider the pagan, let's say the pagan calendar, the solstices and midsummer, it doesn't matter. It just means that there's a specific or particularly climatic moment that is over, and now there's something else brewing, and it's just the beginning of that. I feel like it's still in kind of in secret. Maybe there's a sort of a truth that's not completely clear yet, or it shouldn't be. It's something that is just starting. It's almost like pioneering something. Okay. Pioneering, being the pioneer of something. It can bring sovereignty. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Pile number 1 needs to know now. Arval Parrot. Interesting. He of the Fiery Sword. And Ilv the Retriever. Okay, so I do feel like this has something to do with a secret. Okay, secret knowledge, secret information, something that is secret. Maybe even a person who is secret. Oh, maybe a secret admirer. For some of you, maybe. Because it's someone who comes with a message. And that message might be a secret yet, or for now. Okay, what else do we have? We have Sun in Taurus with acquisition. It's also a lovely couple, right? Jupiter in Virgo with patience. Jupiter in Aquarius with innovation. Jupiter in Leo with publicity. Wow. This is all Jupiter, and this is also Jupiter. So, of course, the Jupiter aspects that are going on in the sky at the moment have a lot of significance. Of course, Jupiter is now conjunct with the Sun. And I think that with the Moon or Mercury. So it's a really exalted sign at the moment. All things Cancer. Okay. Mars in Gemini with decision. So, somebody might decide to contact you, to approach you with romantic intentions. They're still secretive. But this might happen in this season between midsummer and Lammas. So this is like, it's a bit of an ongoing situation, and it will change in the end of the cycle. It will change. There will be a revelation. I feel like someone will decide to make a move. But I think that this reading has a lot of other layers. It has a lot of potential energy also for, it's growth and expansion. So there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential in that relationship if this is your case, and if that is a good thing for you, because this only fits your situation if it's something good. I don't see a relationship that is pathological or toxic in any way. So if that's in your life right now, if you think that there's something like that in your life right now, then maybe this reading is not for you, or this spread isn't talking about that relationship. It's something else, maybe something that you're not yet aware of, or that you might suspect, maybe, or maybe it's a secret. Maybe it's something that it's like you keep it close to your heart and you don't reveal too much about it. You don't talk about it, but there will come a time when things will be expressed freely, but that comes after a decision. But there's much more to this reading. Let's see. 6 of Arrows with transition. Wow. The Lovers, the Forest Lovers. So yeah, for some of you, this is a romantic relationship. For sure. Okay. 5 of Cups with ecstasy. Queen of Bows, hair. Queen of Bows, Page of Bows. There's a lot of passion in the air. I don't know if you noticed, but all of the 3 piles are Wands cards, and I just shuffled the cards and took a card from each one of the decks at random. So there's a lot of passion in the air right now. It's very intense. It can be a little bit stressful for some of us. Too stimulating, the Magician. This is the Shaman. Okay. Ten of Stones with Home, Ten of Pentacles, and the Sun of Life. So this is really interesting. I think that at this moment, because you're a very peculiar person, like you have this really odd mixture of ingredients in your life and also your personality. There's something that I think is coming through this reading that needs to be seen as like a multi-layered message that should be picked apart a little bit, but also consider all the little pieces as a part of a whole. But to start with the Page of Bows, the Stoat, you're it seems like you're a creature that is sometimes or often misunderstood, and there is a need to kind of pace yourself or pace the situation or the relationship so that your magic comes through and that you maintain not control, but so that you maintain your position or your it's like your magic, your charisma, so that it's not misunderstood, because I do feel like that's easy it's easy for that to happen because of the way other people see you. Now, I do feel like you're going through a transformation, a personal transformation, but also a relationship in your life is transforming. And I think that relationship might have the potential to be lifelong, to be very solid, to be a very deep bond based on truth. But what's interesting here is that the truth can't just emerge suddenly. It's like it has to be it has to come out in bite-sized portions so that the other person respects and understands and treasures, values the time and the attention and the detail. Because if you don't give yourself that time, it will not, your magic will not be clear to other people, so they will misunderstand you. There's a communication aspect to this. It's like you need to be careful and also consider the past. So each time you speak, consider what you said last and go from there. You know, it's like a little trail of breadcrumbs, like in Hansel and Gretel, you know? So you follow the little breadcrumbs so that you can have like a coherent story. And that coherent story creates a relationship, a stable, strong, truthful, and respectful relationship. Now, this can be romantic. I do feel like it is, but it can also be a work relationship. It can be an important person in your life, like a very good friend or someone who can really help you, who can be a companion in whatever you're doing. And I do feel like you're also creating something very out of the ordinary together. So it might be that you have like a creative partner or a partner in business, And that partnership is going to turn into something really meaningful, very, very meaningful. It's also going to be very innovative and creative and original and different. This is the stoat here. The stoat is the energy of the reading. It's creating something that's exotic, but it's unique and strange, and it has a lot of details. It's like a very fine piece of artwork, or a piece of jewelry, and you really need to take careful steps so that you don't ruin the whole picture. And I feel like by Lugnasad, or Lamas, so the 1st of August, or by the month of August, something is going to materialize because of this little trail of breadcrumbs, this little it's like it's an effort that is a joint effort, and it's also it builds upon itself. I do feel like this is also the influence of Jupiter here. So it's Jupiter helping you see the importance of this method and of this way of doing things, and also the importance of your specific characteristics, in look at those in detail so that you don't miss anything about what you're doing. So you don't miss steps, you don't jump ahead without a solid position. But there's so much more. It's so interesting. 10 of Cups with happiness. 6 of Bows with abundance. And the Moon on water. So this is the Moon card. I feel like there's this tendency to kind of want to skip steps and to just, because you have that vision and you're so different and you're so original. And maybe also because you're used to not being understood and seen. So you just want to move ahead. Like, okay, I won't wait for you because you're not listening, or I'm used to people not understanding what I'm saying, so I'll just skip this part. And because you skip that part, something is missed. So this reading, you need to know this now. This is the theme of the reading. So if you know this now, maybe you'll be more patient. Maybe you will also see, it's like see the other side. Use your time to see the other side. And not be, because the enthusiasm sometimes can, and the passion for things can sometimes push us into this just need for constant movement. And I think that maybe being satisfied a little bit with where you are right now, or just enjoying something and relaxing, or if you need to use your mind and if you need stimuli, try to study the situation from other perspectives. Either listen to other people talk about things, or talk about the aspects of what you're doing that you might be like questioning yourself about, like the aspects of, maybe imagine you have this creative project and you're really good at one aspect of that creative project, and you have the other person who has a lot of talent with the other stuff. But maybe there are things that you would also do, or maybe there are things that you can also do that will be a plus, something that is a good addition to what you are doing, just because you understand a little bit more of what the other person is talented at. So Sometimes when we team up, we tend to kind of split the the responsibilities, and we say, okay, you do this and I'll do that. But sometimes communication can fail because we don't know what the other person is doing. We don't understand it. So the cooperation fails or is not as efficient. So maybe use that time. And when you feel frustrated, like things are not moving at the pace that you want them to, or you can't really decide on something, you don't have the right information, try to see the other person's perspective. What is on the other side of your relationship? Eight of Stones with skill. Eight of Arrows with struggle. And the Three of Bows with fulfillment. Okay, this is really interesting. So I feel like the powerful magic happens behind the scenes. So it's as if everything is being prepared behind the scenes, and then you go, imagine you go to the theater, you see a show, and you don't realize how much work people do before they can show something to the public. It seems like it's so easy, right? You just go out on stage and do your thing. You know, for people who are watching and who are not into the arts, or if they just, for instance, it can be something else than art. Imagine if you cross a bridge, you don't even think about it most of the times, but how much effort and knowledge and skill and wisdom it took to build a bridge. So that's the amazing part of doing things that are innovative, that are creative, that also can make other things grow on top of that, because I also feel like there's this expansion energy here. Like what you are creating now is the the basis. It's going to be the structure where you will build other things on top of that are going to seem like magic for people who don't understand the effort that goes into your art, your skill, and also your relationship. If this is about a relationship, I feel like if this is a relationship, when you are together officially, people will think that you're like a powerhouse, like you're magical. Your love and your connection, it's so it's a source of admiration for a lot of people, but they won't realize how much effort and how much thoughtful consideration you both needed to have. So also the patience with each other, the allowing the other person to grow at their own pace, the respect that you have for each other. That's something that is going to look mysterious and magical for people who look on the outside. And it's so this is all about you understanding how the hidden magic is going to work towards the visible spectacle that you're going to show the world. I would say by August, you will have, like, the groundwork will be done. And in August, you will see the results of that. 1st of August, you will start to see the result of that. It will seem like magic. This can also be something related to your home. like working on your home, improving something at home, like family life or the relationship at home, relationship with your children, how much effort it goes into a good relationship, a healthy bond. It's not just spontaneous. Sometimes we need to put in some effort. And also, sometimes the effort comes from not losing our tempers, being more patient, allowing other people more space, seeing the other side of the question, the other side of the veil, the other side of the discussion, if that's something that's happening, not allowing our mind to create more like hurdles, ghosts that will stop, that will delay, that will create resistance in others. So yeah, I do think that you're now involved in something that people will see as magical, as something that wasn't, that's so, it's like it's talent, you know, when people say it's talent and they don't realize that you can have the talent and then you have to work hard to achieve something with that talent, because so many of us have so much talent, but we have to choose what to develop and to work at it and to create relationships, to network, you know, to communicate what you're doing, to be consistent. It's that's also an art form in of itself. And I do think that you are working on something that's like that. And it needs this patience, clear communication, patience. It needs your mind to be very clear and calm. But if this is a relationship, it does have the potential to be a lifelong relationship. And this can also be like the work that you're doing is going to be lifelong, or this is just a part of a lifelong work, a part of something that you will enjoy and you will also share with coming generations or with children, with family. It's something that will expand and expand and continue to expand all of your life. It's a legacy for sure. And it can be a relationship, it can be a project, but it will surely impact your life even after you're gone, which is this is like the power of your spirit that will endure. So don't worry if things sometimes are not going as fast as you want them to, because it's all a part of that path that you are, the magic of that magic that you are operating behind the scenes. It's happening behind the scenes, and just because it isn't evident and it isn't seen by everybody else, it doesn't mean that it's less important. Beautiful reading. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the newsletter. You can find the subscription box on my website. And I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. Please send me an email. You will find it below. And I will see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is really positive, upbeat. The only way to go is up, is what you read in the guidebook, which I think is really sweet. So it is about also showing off a little bit. And so expressing something publicly, showing something, showing other people something about yourself that is triumphant, that is victorious. Motivation. It's like motivational, also positive. Okay. What else do we have for pile number 2 that they have to know now? Oh, okay. This is a flying card. Los Guna. And, oh, the Singer of Transfiguration. Okay. I feel like this is better. Wow. What else do we have for pile number 2? Okay. Let me just get this card. Okay, that's better. Mars in Aries with impulsiveness. Sun in Libra with harmony. Kind of contradictory. So Mars in Capricorn with authority. Moon in Scorpio with power. Power and transfiguration. Very scorpionic. Saturn in Libra with devotion. And Sun in Gemini with versatility. Okay. So I do feel already like you're going to find great power in going from a more introspective and I don't want to say antisocial, but it's a little bit more retreat. There's a retreat that is going to transform into like the opposite. Like you're going to try things that you never tried before, do things that you normally don't do. You're doing something that is out of character, or at least is different from what you've been doing up until now, or in this later, the latest things, the latest like themes in your life, or the way you have been doing things for quite some time up until now. I do feel like it's going to change, like you're going to be I feel like you're going to be more adaptable from now on, like you're going to have less rigidity, and something is going to change in your life. And I'm trying to understand if this is all about your mind or your decision, your will, or if there's something else, because I do feel like you have that desire also to maybe connect more, or to have more relationships in your life, to have different energies in your life, to change things around, to have more diversity in your life, of opinions, of minds, of different types of people. It's like bursting a bubble and going outside of that bubble a little bit. Because there's great power and transformation that's coming from relationships, Sun in Libra, from harmonizing your energy with other people's energy, and to be in this dialogue with other people, and also adapt your energy to other people. It's like we also use other people's energy as kind of a slingshot to do things that we need to do. And this is kind of a metaphor for sometimes out of a very simple, very casual conversation comes a really important piece of information for your life, or you're reminded of something or someone that will be a great addition to whatever you have on your mind, like a project, or you're looking for a partnership for something. There's something there for you that's I feel like it's going to put you on the move, and it's turning things around. Eight of Swords. Seven of Wands. Okay. We have Justice. Nine of Pentacles. And the World. The High Priestess. And the Seven of Swords. I feel like the going more into other people's energy and interacting with it will also affect your inner realm somehow. And maybe this reading is coming to you so that you understand what can happen if you do so that you're not defensive about something, so that you don't need to hide. So that you don't need to hide. The Knight of Cups. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Swords. Okay, so I do feel like accepting painful interactions as well as the positive ones, and the way you flow through every one of those, the way you use other people's energy and your energy to flow. You know what? I also feel like you might have to keep some things for yourself so that you can interact with other people without letting them affect you so much that you are drained, or that you are put in a position like a defensive position or a closed off position. So being open but also flowy, but also not attaching too much, because I do feel like there might be it's like the painful aspects of other people might affect you particularly right now. I do feel like maybe people are used to having your attention, or your maybe they're used to having access to you in a way that allows them to work on their wounds, to work on the things that are painful for them. And maybe this is a time for you to be more available to more people, and because of that you don't have the energy for each one of them in the same way that you had before, because you need to manage more people. So maybe you need to be more to measure the dose, okay, to measure the dose of attention, and to maybe narrow the connection a little bit for now. And it's still there. It doesn't mean that it's not deep. It doesn't mean that you are not deep. It doesn't mean that you are now a superficial person who doesn't have time for anyone, or that you're just too busy for everyone. But the thing is, if you have to manage a lot of things at once, and maybe you're getting into a specific time in your life where that energy might affect you somehow, you can't go so, you can't go so deep with each interaction or with each situation, because you will be drowning, you will be overwhelmed. Um, that's not a powerful position for you. It will destroy your objectives also. It's like you need to talk to many birds at once. And people might decide to kind of to fly around you for a while so that they can flow with your energy, and when they want to leave, they leave. But it's it's like a different there's a different method that you need to apply, and it's going to be a big change in your life. It's like people will get a little bit of you, like more people will get a little bit of you. And before, it was like a few people would get a lot of you. They would get a lot of attention, or they would get a lot of focus, a lot of love, or there would be intense conversations and more time for that. And now I do feel like things might be accelerating. Ace of Cups. I don't think that you will feel like it's less powerful, okay? You will feel like it's even more powerful, actually. I feel like your cup is getting bigger also. So your capacity for love and for the expression of love for other people is also expanding. The Empress, expanding. It keeps expanding. So yeah, I do feel like this theme is really the Jupiter influence is enormous right now for everyone. So everything is just so much more. It's so intense. Feelings, the way we see the world, it's so vivid. It's so much more intense. Things are so quick. News travels so quick. Everything is so fast paced. It's just like the consciousness. I do feel like collective consciousness is growing, although there is a lot of trash or garbage around, and there's a lot of slop, and there's a lot of things that are not really constructive, not really positive for us. But it doesn't matter, because the movement is ongoing. And one thing is bad, but then another thing comes, and it's good, and we can process. We are processing. The processing power of the collective is also increasing, like a computer. Okay. So we have the Sun card. Beautiful. And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So interesting that I think that even though there is less of you available for more people, I think that the universe and the mechanisms of the collective, of the human spirit and of nature spirits, are working for you. So I do think that very soon you will get into a kind of this energy that kind of rolls, it kind of slides effortlessly. And you need to have a little bit of detachment, to have a little bit of a more of I'm not sure if it's like a rational approach, but it's like when we have a painful event in our life, and we need to have a more broad perspective of our life so that we can see how it's so small in relation with the whole. I do feel like you're getting this perspective that makes little inconveniences, or even the things that annoy you about other people, they will be smaller, or they will be more insignificant, or just you will look at those and you will say, I don't worry, it doesn't matter, because nature, God, time, human nature even, it will take, its route, and it will run, the program will run, and it will clear everything away naturally, all the doubts, all the mistakes. It doesn't matter, it just keeps going. And I do feel like you're optimizing your energy here. When I say there's less of you for more people, I'm also picturing this like machine that optimizes effort. And even it can be just the wisdom of time. So yesterday I was watching a traditional dance and a folk dance, and there was in the group there was like a small kid, and there were older people. And it's interesting that the leader was always cheering them and telling them like, okay, I see you're very, very tired, let's just dance one more. And they were annoyed and like fighting with the leader, like funnily, because he was really pushing them. And it was funny because the older people seemed less tired than the young people, and they were doing the exact same thing. And this means that the older people, they know exactly the amount of energy that they have to expend. And it's so incredible, because the younger people were kind of like, oh, my back. They were complaining, and they were complaining to their friends like, I can't take this anymore, I'm so tired. And the older people were, yeah, they were tired, but they were so much more efficient. And it's so interesting that it's something that comes with life experience, and or with the experience of doing something very well, very skillfully. Like, you know exactly how much power you need to use to do something, and you can be very efficient. You can be very, it's like it's sustainable, right? You can do this for longer periods of time. You can take other people's energy, you can use it, you can help them. It's so much lighter. It's such it's like a breeze, it's such an easier way of looking at life, and of looking at the processes of our evolution, our collective evolution also. So I do feel like you need to consider ways to give the exact amount that is needed for each one of the elements to be satisfied, to be growing, like the relationships are growing, the interactions are pleasant, they will look for you when they need something specific that they relate to you. Like if you're really good at something and people know who you are, they know what you're capable of, and they will contact you for that. and you will spread your seed, you'll spread your message for more people, but it's more efficient. You won't need to expend so much energy on this one person or two or three, because this is a different person now. This is a different period of your life, and it's a different project, or it's a different approach that you need to have. I feel like you also be dancing with a lot of different people. And the dance is such a symbol of the relationship. It's such an interesting way of expressing what can also go on emotionally and internally, but visually. The dancing with another person, to be in sync, to mirror the other person, to understand what they're doing, to give clues towards also what you're doing. So this dance of life with other people, I do feel like you're going to be more so this reading is coming to you to help you be more efficient with that, so that you don't need to be so guarded. You don't need to tire yourself with your defenses, or with just withdrawal in general, because I do feel like you're going from a period of more introspection, and even solitude, positive, like good solitude, like I just want to be by myself, I'm fine. But I don't think that this is productive for now. Like, you need to transform that, or life is just taking you somewhere else, and it's going to take you to a situation where you will need to manage other people's energy. And that's fine, because I do feel like that's a great, it's a transformation in your life that brings a lot of growth, especially in the spiritual sense. And it's also a way to kind of spread your wisdom, but to give that wisdom in a way that is understood, and it kind of fits each person, so that you don't need to over explain, or you don't need to, you don't need to use excessive force or excessive power, excessive energy to understand the other person or to relate to the other person. It happens a little bit more, it's more like bespoke. So each person has a little bit of you that is specifically for them, and it works wonders for your mental health. It works wonders for your emotional equilibrium, and it's a part of your spiritual development. It's really interesting because it's almost like, someone who like interviews a lot of people, like a very experienced journalist or interviewer, a media person. It seems to be like that kind of energy. It doesn't mean that it's exactly that at all, but it's like someone who is very adaptable, who knows exactly with each person that they speak to what is the most important thing about the person for that moment, and the most pertinent questions to ask, the most pertinent things to say, and also the things that nurture connection, that don't sever the connection, so that people have an idea of you that is continuous, that is not it's like, oh, that person is retreated and they don't want to speak to anyone at the moment, or they're very reclusive, or I don't know what happened. I haven't heard from them in a while. So no, that's not, I don't think that that's going to continue. Like, the people need to have this continuous line of clues that you leave behind so that they follow you, so that they also learn from you, but in a way that doesn't feel like they are like messing with your energy, if that's the case with some people. Because even if some people, they're not necessarily evil in any way, we all have suffering, we all have negative thinking sometimes, and sometimes that takes over parts of our energy. And that's, everyone has some aspect of their lives where there's a lot of unfortunate events or some unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and that can also tamper and alter the quality of our relationships. So maybe you're very sensitive to that, and that is also, but that's a part of you. That's the part of you that I don't think you can change. What you can change is the process of interaction, to optimize the process, optimize that method. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch. And I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. You can send me an email. You will find it below. And I will hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is a lot about self-confidence. You can see it's like that superstar celebrity energy here. The spotlight is on the character. She holds herself and carries herself boldly and confidently. So, what else do we have? The pile number pile number 3 needs to know right now. Okay, we have gotcha. Something that surprises you. Wow, Lewis the Wild. Ready to go. And Geo the Slow. That's the opposite energy. So this is a really nervous but ready to go, like ready to jump at you, impulsive energy. And then you have Geo the Slow, which is very, very slow paced and considerate and patient. It can be too slow. Or is it that something happens that slows you down and it's a little bit of a tower moment, as some of the readers always say tower moment. And tower moment is the moment where we are surprised by what happens. It's something that is mostly out of our control. Okay, that's a lot of cards. So we have Moon in Virgo with order. Venus in Gemini with flattery. Moon in Gemini with adaptability. Moon in Scorpio with power. Venus in Leo with affair. Venus in Taurus with romance. Jupiter in Gemini with bluff. Mars in Cancer with coral. So I do feel like it is a bit of a roller coaster. It's going to feel like things change abruptly. There's also something here about someone having more power than they say they have, or the opposite, like someone having less power than they say they have. And that someone sees you as competition, or you see someone as competition. But it's something very civilized. I feel like it's something very, socially, it's very diplomatic, but there's something hidden there that's not upfront. And there might be a time where it comes to the surface, and maybe that's when, that unexpected energy comes at you. Like, okay, this is a little bit of a gloves off moment. I feel like it's more like the opposite. Yeah, like that person is going to show you that they have less power, maybe, than they think, than they make you think, it's like they're one thing to your face, and it's not real. They're trying to, I think they're trying to maintain a certain image of power and of like being in charge of your situation. I don't think that this person is an authority figure per se, but I do feel like they want to show off their position, which is not supported by reality, by, anything consistent. The Three of Pentacles, I do feel like this might be work related. So this might be someone at work, someone in the office, someone in your proximity or working with you. Mask off. The Queen of Swords. The Seven of Wands. It's like they were secretly competing with you, or they were secretly doing something else while they were saying they were doing, things for you, or they were working on something that's important for you, and then you realize that nothing's done, or that you need to redo something because it's badly done, or okay, the Hierophant. So focus is difficult. Okay. And the Three of Swords. So I even think that they might want to kind of shift the blame towards you for something to save themselves. It's really, I feel like this really petty energy that's not very pleasant. So I am not sure, why do you need to know this? Why is this useful? Okay, we have the Empress, the Tower, that Tower moment, and the World card. So that person might be ending their collaboration, and that might be a little bit strange when, for you, like surprising when that happens. But I do feel like they're trying to either take the credit, or like to take responsibility and the credit for work that was not theirs, for like stealing your laurels or something like that, or lying about what they were doing, or hiding something about what they were doing, hiding the weaknesses in their work. And I feel like someone is terminating the relationship. The Nine of Pentacles. You know, I even feel like someone in charge might also be terminating like the project, because it's troublemaking. It's giving so many problems, and there are so many issues that the people in charge, they decide to terminate that project, to end that because it wasn't working. And then you realize that it was because this person wasn't being completely honest, or they weren't revealing the whole truth about what they were doing. But it's actually for the better that this happens, because it wasn't sustainable. I do feel like it wasn't sustainable in long term. Something here, it's so interesting, because it's so, I feel like it's like a corporate environment, but if it's not, if it's more, if I could fit this situation into other scenarios, I would say that this is about you being self-confident and knowing exactly what you're worth, exactly what you did, like the work and the effort that you put into things, so that when other people see that something's wrong there, they know that your contribution was worth, was worthy, that it was meaningful, and it was productive. It wasn't your fault that things didn't work out. And I think that you have to have the self-confidence to expose that, to show, the truth about the situation, without being like disappointed because that other person maybe is not a very honest person, and they were being two-faced, or they were being manipulative. The High Priestess. The Two of Swords. And the Six of Swords. So I feel like you might have to move on from this. You might have to go your own way, or to start something completely different that will have different set of rules. So something in your work environment might also be changing because of this, and maybe you need to know this so that you're not kind of startled and you're not frozen by the instability, so that you're not like, okay, what should I do? Like, this is chaotic. It's like there needs to be a certain calmness and patience when things go a little bit chaotic. And you also need to trust yourself. Maybe there will be like a time where you need to kind of rebuild the confidence again, to trust the process again. The Four of Wands. The Knight of Swords. And Judgment. The Six of Pentacles. I feel like you might have to redirect your hopes, let's say, for something. And this pivotal moment, this chaos that is, it might feel like it's a situation that you can't get out of when it comes. And I feel like this reading is telling you, don't worry, because when this appears in your life, a doorway will open that will reveal a different option for you, that will reveal a different way for you to offer your services, to offer your skills, to give what you are good at giving, what you're good at doing. Create also new relationships, networking, good friendships, and good partnerships elsewhere. I feel like a doorway is opening, and before the doorway opens, there'll be a period of chaos and confusion. But it's also really fast. You have the you have the Knight of Swords here. I think it's a really fast thing, and it will be even quicker. It will be over quickly and stabilize quickly if you realize that that door is opening immediately. But you need to work with what you have. You need to also be greatly aware of the thing that you're good at. Okay, I also feel like the opportunity for growth for you right now, and that's coming really quickly and obviously when this doorway opens, is possibly going to be one that will, I think that you will be competing at a different level. This is like, you imagine that you're training, you're an athlete, and you're training something and you're at a specific level, and something will happen that will kind of bring your test your confidence. Your confidence will be tested, and when that comes, this is when you know that the opportunity is opening for you to step up your game and to be on a different level. So now you're, with the big boys, with the big guys, let's say. And you might be facing people that you wouldn't face before. Like people who are very well established, people who are really powerful. And this happens because there is a moment of revelation about a person that's now working with you, or that is in your work environment, that isn't being truthful about their skills or about what they bring to the table, about their abilities, and also the results of their work. Maybe they have like a report that they don't want to expose. There are some numbers there that they're not matching the expectations. Something there that's not quite right. And there will be a mask off moment relating to a person that will give you the opportunity to play on a different level, to play your game on a different level, to work with people who are much more established. So I do feel like this reading is coming so that you kind of prepare your subconscious for change, for chaos and change, so that you are not so swallowed up by the chaos, by the confusion that might come when things change, because it is a great opportunity for growth for you, especially on the material aspect of life. There's also the possibility of you kind of being a little bit disappointed at an authority figure, like someone you had in high regard might not be so virtuous, or maybe they're less skilled also. But there is going to be a kind of a reckoning. There is going to be something comes down so that it can be rebuilt properly. And I do feel like this is related to career. It can also be about relationships, but I do feel like if it is about relationships, it's more like family life, not strictly romantic, although we do have the romance card here. There might be a little bit of that romantic aspect, but I'm leaning more towards the family life aspect here. So there might come a time when you will have to be the leader of the family, and because maybe you're disappointed at someone who was maybe considered the leader in that group, in that family, in that dynamic. And maybe it's time for you to take a more like you have to be in the spotlight a little bit more. You have to have a higher role, and that comes with a little bit of chaos before it happens. It feels chaotic, like it feels risky, it feels like revolutionary in a sense also, or like there's this sort of a power struggle there. If this has something to do with a relationship, it might mean that one relationship is ending and another one is beginning, and that there's a period of chaos in between. Or that it is the same relationship that is changing, and there might be a little bit of a quarrelsome situation, a discussion, a conversation that's a little bit tough, and that comes in quickly, and it's really there's a kind of a breaking point, but something else comes. And because of this reckoning, because of this moment of truth, even if it's a little bit harsh and a little bit cruel, even a little bit cold, but it's necessary for the true authority and the true values, what makes that relationship strong, to shine through. The truth of the relationship shines through. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch. I am also available for personal readings at the moment, so you can send me an email. You will find it below. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.